All right, welcome everybody to another fantastic episode of the streaming series here at Nobody Studios. I don't know about you, but this is my last call of the year with one of my favorite people that I've been working with this year. And I've also been looking at these fake backgrounds for months, if not years. So I decided, you know what? I'm not going to go with one of those. I'm going to get the real deal and put this in. So excited to be dialing from and showing the global impact and network that we have of people working all over the world. And today I'm delighted to be joined by one of our first founders of one of our first NewCOs that we actually brought to market, the wonderful Ray Leonard Jr. So Ray, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm very jealous of your background. Normally here in Southern California where I am, I have the beautiful background set up, but it's a little cold and chilly today, so I'm not doing that.
Well, Ray, this is why I brought this game, because I knew every time I call you for the last 2 years, you've been sitting out in the sunshine with the palm trees. I thought I gotta bring it. I gotta make
Yeah,
sure I show up today.
beautiful. Yeah, you one up me today for sure.
Oh well, look, I love the piano. We can make some music together. I think we're doing that already with a little bit of Nobody Studios and Ovationz at the moment. So, Ray, look, just to you've a phenomenal entrepreneur. You've very interesting background. Two-sport athlete in college, started your own agency business straight out of there. Real successful, sold it for over $1 million. Like a lot of people probably look at your story and go, like, such an interesting life. When you look back at your entrepreneurial journey, is there a moment that sort of stood out to you, or a turning point that you think about that really got you on this path of thinking about building businesses and building essentially your brand, which is phenomenal over the last few years? What sort of jumps out at you?
What jumps out at me, I always go back to the humble beginnings of my grandfather who gave me my life lesson of know better, do better. He told me that when I was a young kid, I had no idea what it meant, but he had a sixth grade education. He was a sharecropper from South Carolina and raised six kids and took us to Washington, D.C. My parents were two teenage parents from Palmer Park, Maryland, that we didn't have much at all. And all of a sudden, we got thrust into the limelight. My father won the '76 Olympic gold medal. And ever since then, it was kind of just like a whirlwind. And I was growing up learning from my parents. But the biggest thing was learning that I was bigger than my block. So many kids that come from my background just think like your neighborhood is the world. And when I got to travel with my father and my mother and meet people like Nelson Mandela, the Queen of England, I said, you know what, I can do some exceptional things myself. So no matter what heights my father had achieved as an athlete, it was always in the back of my head that I could be a diplomat. I could be a big business person. I could do more than what was expected of me. And when I had the chance, I jumped at it, and I was never scared. I never lived my life in fear. Had the opportunity to create a business right out of college, and I didn't fear it because I saw people that came from nothing be successful. So when you have those type of role models that go through those kind of experiences, it gives you a whole different perspective, and it opens up opening up your eyes to a bigger world. And that was the biggest thing with Nobody Studios is we dream big, and we have the opportunity to create entrepreneurs and create people that are doing amazing things. And so, my story of being a two-sport athlete, I knew I wasn't going to be a six-time world champion in 5 different weight divisions like my dad, but I knew that I could make a greater impact myself. I was a football player in college. I went to Ohio University, ran track and field. I was on the Maryland USA team and ran in Russia and Spain. But the biggest thing that I had ever done was create a company. My first company was a sports management company, and it was what was the movie? Jerry Maguire. That I saw, and I said, if Tom Cruise can create a company and be a great agent, then I can do it too. And not really realizing that there's a lot more that goes into entrepreneurship than just being on a movie stage. So
Well, but the thing is, Ray, like, just watching you yourself, like as an individual, how you show up every day, the inspiration you bring to the team, the passion that you have to really understand this domain that we've started to tackle with Ovationz. You're an interesting story in yourself about the prompt about why to start building this company with us. we in Nobody Studios, we have lots of ideas on our idea board, but there was one company that sort of struck you just at the start of pandemic when we first met each other, that sort of resonated with what was going on in your life. So would you share a little bit about what was that moment that sort of piqued your curiosity about what was happening in Nobody Studios, and actually encouraged you to say, actually, that idea, I'm all over that. I'm gonna go for that one.
So there's stages to your life in your career, and times when you were at a certain place. I have become a professional speaker. I never thought I would be a professional speaker. It just happened, and my friend, my business partner, asked me to come speak at the military base, and I spoke. They asked me to come back again, and I did it. And then the third time, they said, "We'll pay you to do it." I was like, "Oh, this could actually be something." So when I started doing that, it was more like a love of I found my new passion in life. I found the thing that I wanted to inspire and educate others, and lifelong goal of being that. And I said that this will be the thing that I will do for the rest of my life. But then also, meeting Mark and meeting the studio when 2020 happened, when the pandemic hit, it was kind of a game changing thing because I was used to going out 30, 40 times a year and speaking on massive stages. But then this company came back when the pandemic hit, and I was gonna have the biggest year of my life. I had 60 paid speeches booked, and all of a sudden, there was nothing. So I had to either redirect or figure out something new and figure out how to change the game, or I could just wallow like some people did into a path of self pity. But that's never been my thing. I have 4 kids and a wife that depend upon me. So I said, okay, let's figure something else out. Met Mark, met Nobody Studios, the founders, met you guys. And there was one company, it was called Zoom Jock at the time. And I said, I love the idea, but just not the name. So
Born of these backgrounds, right? That's what it was born of.
Exactly. But the interesting thing was Mark had this big idea of we're going to create 100 companies in 5 years, and we're going to help our founders and build upon the companies that we're building with our other companies, and then grow it and do it progressively. And I didn't know what progressive meant, and he said, well, we're going to be aggressive and we're going to do it frugal. I said, okay, that makes sense to me. I understand how to do that, but at the end of the day, you never know until you actually do it. And so, me being one of the first founders, co-founders of the studio and of the company, leading the way was a scary experience, but it's also experience of, okay, we see how this thing works from the inside, and seeing the actual concept of how we say we're going to ideate. And Mark and I went back and forth about the name of the company, and developed it ourselves over like 2 or 3 weeks. We said, okay, here we had like 45 names, and then finally we said Ovationz. Yeah, that's great. That's the one. And then we did it. We bought the domain name. We started building the company right then and there. So when you talk about being agile or being a company that can actually manufacture something from nothing, that's the experience that I've had so far. And building this team and the experience going forward has been just incredible.
And like, to be honest, Ray, it's just been incredible watching you and the team grow through the whole process, right? Like, as you say, facing the fear, putting yourself out there, building something and telling the world you're doing this thing and how's it going to go, and the uncertainty. And yet you've always embraced that. You've always led the team through it. You've always had great vision about where this product could be from your own personal experiences and drawn from them to really shine. It's been amazing to see. And I think also one of the fascinating things about Ovationz is we built Ovationz on top of another one of our NewCOs, ThoughtForma, the no-code platform. So we've had this beautiful sort of virtuous relationship between one of our companies who are building out this phenomenal no-code platform, and then Ovationz, which is really the spearhead to like drive the improvement of that platform. And we're getting 2 for the price of 1, and it's amazing to see those teams work together. So as an entrepreneur and a founder of this company, like, you've built your own businesses and now you're in the studio building. So tell us a little bit about what have you been seeing as some of maybe the contrasts, if you will, about building in the studio versus your own businesses that you've created, and why you think other entrepreneurs might want to follow this path if it's for them.
Oh, it's been night and day. So when I started my first company, I had no idea what I was doing, structure wise, about how to hire the right talent, how to bring the right people in, who was going to be a mentor to actually show me what I was doing right and wrong. And I lost a ton of money, lost a ton of time just trying to figure stuff out myself. And then coming to the studio and just having a plethora of amazing talent saying, "Here, I can talk to the former CEO of Coke. I can talk to, Barry O'Reilly. I can talk to Mark McNally, all these people, and use the knowledge that they've gained over the years and say, okay, here, am I going the right way? Am I making a mistake? But leverage that talent and have mentors that are in place that they'll make things a lot easier to help you move forward. So it cuts out a lot of the delay time of the learn yourself and fail yourself, space.
Yeah.
So
No, it's such a good point. I always say it's we'll make mistakes, but can we not make the same ones and make better ones and move forward? And I think that's one of the things that really stands out to me is when we learn something in one company, we can apply it across the entire studio. So there's compound learning happening there, which is really, really fascinating. And we're not just mentors to, as you say, it's like we're co-founders, right? You're co-founder
right.
of the studio. You're co-founder of these businesses together, and like really bought in to see the success for everybody. I think is the real fascinating spin on that.
Yeah, and Barry, when you talk about like thought former with the no code low code development, and every time I've been in business as a consultant, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, it's always seemed there's been a competition or someone scared to take your IP, or we don't share, we don't play in a sandbox friendly together, but seeing it actually be a space that a company that we acquired as a studio to actually be building my company is amazing to see it, because the guys at Thorpe Former, Jason and Gareth are building their company while at the same time they're helping me build Ovationz and helping us build Ovationz. So you see it in real time. You see the action of what's happening, and you see how the companies can function and flow together because we're all invested together. Like it is amazing to see. It's like a brotherhood, sisterhood, whatever you want to call it. But everybody moving towards the greater good of not just our company, but trying to make a bigger impact on the world.
Yeah, no, thanks for calling that out, Ray. It's so true. I've been in accelerators, I've been in incubators, even in VC funds where you're always competing with the person beside you. You try to be friendly, but at the end of the day, it's about getting those resources, whatever they are, the people, the cash, the whatever. But nobody, as you say, we're all incentivized not only to work together, but we achieve more together, right? If any company in the portfolio has a success and exit, great. Everyone sees benefits from that because we all own a piece of each company and part of actually Nobody Studios in itself. So it's a fascinating model. And for you though, let's on Ovationz, right? It's been a massive year, getting the platform into alpha, getting it out there in the hands of people, starting to onboard hundreds of speakers onto this platform. What's been one of your lessons, if you will, for this year? What's as we're on December 30th here. What are you writing down in your journal saying, right, this is the thing I need to get my head around for next year, or what I took away from this year?
So the biggest thing for me is seeing a dream come true. Um, I've always wanted to show my kids and my community that there is bigger opportunity. Like I can be the Jeff Bezos, I can be the CEO. And there hasn't been a whole lot of diversity in VC. So for me to be leading one of the first companies that come out is really amazing. And to see that here we're providing speakers with the opportunity to achieve and see a new world, to be exposed to a whole nother opportunity that would never have the opportunity for, it's satisfying to me and my soul in that way. But also just like when you talk about generational wealth and doing things that you leave a legacy behind that makes sense, and the legacy behind that is impactful. And the biggest thing that when you have someone speaking about you when you're no longer here, because we all have an expiration date, when that comes, is what do you leave behind, and are they saying what you expect them to say or what you say about yourself. And if it's not the same, and if it doesn't match up, then you didn't do what you were supposed to do. I come from a path of humble leadership and big vision, and that's what I do for my team. And I appreciate my team. I tell them every single day we have a meeting, and I'm like, there was no way this would happen without you. And I tell all of us, because Mark pops in, you pop into the meetings. Everybody from Nobody Studios is open to pop into the meetings because we are so transparent about how we're moving things forward. Is that I appreciate you guys and the opportunity and the journey that we're on, because it's a special thing.
Right on, Ray. No, honestly, like I say, it's been an inspiration to watch you grow as a leader, to inspire your team and generations of people. I think you're going to do with this business. Ovationz, even the intent to create a place for emerging talent to bring their skills to bear, to create wealth for themselves, to actually build a brand and an identity and bring more diversity, say, to all domains that we're operating in. It's a joy to see. So as we look forward, then you got probably the biggest year of your life ahead of you. I know you do. So
Yes.
what are we looking forward to with Ovationz in 2023? What's going to blow people's socks off and take this thing to the next level?
So we're looking forward to us, hiring more people, building our space, to empowering more people, giving more opportunity to entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, changing the face of education, the ed tech business, and how it works, to creating a whole nother dynamic within our business, and inspiring other entrepreneurs to say, I can do it too, that you can be a part of the studio, which most people have been shut out from this space for a long, long time. So us giving the opportunity to, like Mark says, he's like it may be a 12-year-old girl in New Delhi that has the next big idea, but we give that opportunity to someone who never thought they would have that opportunity. So that's inspirational to me, and to see the work of my team and them be able to get the benefit of what we're doing in the studio and every single other company, and that, like, it's like you got a whole bunch of babies being birthed, and you're seeing the flow of what's happening. It makes it's so exciting to understand. And like, when you're building a company, it takes your blood, sweat, and tears. And early on in company growth and company ideation, it's tough. But when you put the work in, you have the right people around that influences, and you build the right community, it creates a system that you're excited to see what the growth is going to be. We're planting seeds of wealth and growth and prosperity, and it's just beautiful to be a part of it and see that's actually happening, not just a conversation. So I thank you. It's been like a pleasure. It's still a pleasure, because this year is going to be freaking amazing. uh, we're going to take this company to new heights and new levels. And they always talk about a unicorn, and maybe we will be that unicorn.
Ray, I appreciate you. It's been an absolute joy kicking ass with you in 2022. We've so much more ahead of us ourselves with Ovationz, with Nobody Studios. I think we're really going to do something special, and I'm absolutely honored to share that journey with you. Have a wonderful new year. Thanks for joining in. Folks online, say hello, drop creeps in the comments. Make sure you follow or subscribe to our channels. We're going to be doing these shows all through 2023 with different investors, NewCO builders, crowdfunders. We're a crowd-infused venture studio. We're trying to change the way companies are built and who can be part of that system and do something that's never been done before. Ray Leonard Jr., look at you kicking ass with Ovationz. It's going to be a great year ahead. You look after yourself, sir, and have a wonderful new year.
Yeah, thank you, Barry. We're happy, wonderful new year, happy new year, and I'm gonna have to join you in that background, because it looks way better than what I'm going through right now.
I tell you, man, I am done now. You are my last call of the year. I'm glad it's you. It's so good to be. It's just perfect for me. I'm gonna go dive in this and swim out for a little while and have a good time. You all take care out there, all right?
Yeah, health and prosperity, y'all. Peace.